There is a 0.1% chance that we ever find the perfect NFL draft prospect. When we do, those guys have went number one and it was undisputed. But I say it's hard to find that, and I'm speaking specifically to the quarterback position. We have a draft with 4 polarizing quarterbacks. We got Bryce Young, we got CJ Stroud, we got Will Levis, and we got Anthony Richardson. And all these guys, none of them are perfect. And the knock on all of these guys, Levis, Stroud, Richardson, it's a technique thing. It's a throwing thing. It's a ceiling thing. It's on the field. But the knock on Bryce Young is something he can't even control. I don't think anybody has questions about Bryce Young's ability to make throws or improvise out of the pocket. But we look at him and he looks like a regular civilian. That is the difference. And I'm here today to talk about, is Bryce Young the smallest quarterback ever? That may sound far-fetched, but is he the smallest quarterback ever? Right here, I'm going to list off some names to you, and I'm going to talk about this, and I just want to speak to a couple things after. But a guy I want to talk about, we all know about Doug Flutie, decorated college career, Heisman winner, played great at Boston College, wasn't a big-time NFL player, but he really made his money in the CFL and the USFL. Started off in the USFL, went over to the NFL, then went to the CFL, then came back to the NFL. Another guy that I want to bring to your attention is Eddie LeBaron, listed at 5'9", 170. Also fought for this country, a Korean War vet, played for the Commanders, what we know now is the Commanders, and the Dallas Cowboys. Not a Hall of Fame career, not a career, drafted number 1 overall, 10-year franchise quarterback career, but he had a respectable career. And I'm picking number 1. I see Will Levis, he can throw the ball 80 yards. I see Anthony Richardson, he can run a 4.5, and he's built like a linebacker. I see CJ Stroud, he just does it. Now I'm here, and this is a conversation that needs to be had, because anytime we see a small quarterback, we throw in that label on him. Oh, Drew Brees did it. Everybody's not Drew Brees, all right? And the chances of seeing a Drew Brees versus the chances of seeing a Baker Mayfield, which one you think you're going to get more? And it's going to be more geared towards that side of seeing Baker Mayfield than seeing a Hall of Famer in Drew Brees, all right? So with that being said, where's the middle ground in that? I don't want the middle ground if I'm the Houston Texans or the Indianapolis Colts. I also see Kyler Murray. Yes, when we look at his missed games, he hasn't missed that many games, minus this season where he tore his ACL. But he's been nicked and banged and nicked and banged and banged and bruised throughout his career. This is a team, the Arizona Cardinals, are known for having good seasons and breaking down towards the end of the year. That's why they haven't been successful in the playoffs. So, Bryce Young, now let's really get to it. I'm going to show you pictures of Bryce Young beside Kyler Murray, the infamous Stetson Bennett, and I want you to let me know what you think about those pictures. He looks smaller than Stetson Bennett and Kyler Murray. And see, the difference is another guy. We see a small quarterback playing good. We want to throw the label. Oh, he's Drew Brees. Oh, he's Russell Wilson. Is Russell Wilson even Russell Wilson? At this point, is Russell Wilson even Russell Wilson? So now, but I look at Russell Wilson. I look at Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a guy who's bulk. Kyler Murray is stout now. He's like a little running back now. Russell Wilson, also a bulky guy. Bryce Young isn't bulky. So it's interesting for me because he's listed. A lot of people think Bryce Young is not 6 feet. All right. So it's so frustrating because I've seen people that have been in rooms with Kyler Murray. It's a joke, but there's a truth in every joke. They say he's 5'8", 5'9". If Bryce Young looks like this, standing next to Kyler Murray, Bryce Young has to be 5'9", 5'10". And I gotta see what he weighs at the combine because his listed weight is in the 190s. I don't know how I feel about that. At the minimum, at 195. At the most, 201, 202, 200 pounds. I'll be really happy. If I see he's 200 pounds, I'm sprinting the car to Roger Goodell. So I want to know what you think about this. Because he can potentially be the one of the smallest quarterbacks ever. I saw talk about Eddie LeBaron. I don't think nobody's smaller than him. If you find somebody, I've done my research, but if you find somebody that you think is smaller than Eddie LeBaron, let me know. But I see Bryce Young. Maybe Bryce Young's Doug Flutie's size. Maybe he's Doug Flutie's size. This is a conversation that needs to be had, and this is why we're having it. When I talk about Bryce Young, I don't want to talk about anything on the field because he's a dominant football player. That's not the concern. But how long can he be a dominant football player? If Chris Jones, if Quentin Williams, if Dexter Lawrence falls on Bryce Young, I don't know. So if I'm the GM and we talk about it, a smaller Patrick Mahomes, Steph Curry-like talent, game-changing ability, and after this video, walking away from it, I feel more confused than I was when I started the video. And I see CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud, I don't understand why people are, and I understand we know the ceiling, but that's not a solid reason to knock CJ Stroud. Like, he's not that guy. He's my solid quarterback too. If anything, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, that's after. But 1 and 1A or 2 is CJ Stroud. So when we talk about it, when we have this conversation, I can see CJ Stroud going number 1. I'm not a big Will Levis guy as far as the number 1 pick. I understand he can maybe be a project turn into something, but if we're the number 1 pick, we're the Houston Texans. We don't have a solid foundation to build this guy up. If I'm Will Levis and I go to the Indianapolis Colts, I got a defense I can lean on. I got a top 5 running back I can lean on. Let me know what you think about this. This is very interesting, and this is something that needs to be talked about. But like I said, I always want to know in the comments what you think. How does he hold up? Is he the smallest quarterback ever? Is he one of the smallest quarterbacks ever? I think the answer to that is yes. But until next time, let me know what you guys think about this video. Until then, we out.